The biggest weakness I had as the business grew was having difficult conversations and confrontation. It's not something that comes easy or that I seek in life. I tend to run away from those things. It felt like more of a sales business than a delivery business. I'm not sure much work was done. People try and justify no work or poor work with that fluff. The biggest mistake I'd made is keeping someone on in the business too long that affected the culture in a negative way. The main thing for me is that they think I'm a good guy and that they have some nice memories of spending time with me.
Welcome to the AMSOS podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
You have no idea what I'm about to ask you. I have no idea what I'm about to ask you. So we're going to jump straight into it.
Sure.
You got two categories over the table. I'm just going to get you started. Which category would you like? Ambition or acquisition?
Ambition.
Money or mistakes?
Mistakes. I've got more mistakes than money, I can say that.
Survival or service?
Survival.
Okay. Operations or opinions?
Opinions.
Strategy or sacrifice?
Let's give sacrifice. Yeah. I'm analysing my own choices. Yeah.
While I get all of this ready, well, why don't you give us some context? Who is James? And tell us about the business, tell us what it is that you do, and while I get all of this set up.
Okay, so I run a business called Manchester SEO. We provide organic search engine optimization services and encompassing things like online reputation management and helping people to sell more products and services online and build their own personal profile if that's what they wish. Set up during COVID, and I previously before that had a side business and was ripped off a little bit by an agency, and
Really?
I had a computer science degree, and I thought I just had to pull my finger out and do it myself. And my experience within software companies and it was all about communication with clients, and that's what I didn't get from the agency. So I thought it was a better way of doing it, where you could be very clear about the work done, the results we were getting, and the strategy moving forward. And that's the kind of ethos and how we do things at Manchester SEO.
That's mad. I didn't know that. Like, obviously, without saying who the agency is, I mean, unless you want to publicly name and shame. What happened?
Well, I had it was a recruitment website of hospitality industry. Had a lot of vacancies on there, 300-400, but no one looking at them. And I was busy at the time, travelling with work, and I just thought I'll get someone else to do it. So I got someone else to do it. It felt like more of a sales business than a delivery business, let's put it that way. And from what I know now, maybe 15 years on, I'm not sure much work was done. And unfortunately, it's not it's quite a common story with lots of businesses, whether that's just a communication thing or an actual not knowing what to do. It can vary, can't it? Or an expectation thing that clients might have different expectations, but actually it wasn't good. But I had that technical background, and I needed to do something about it. So, yeah.
That's a lot, James. I don't know if you've heard the saying. They say sometimes the best businesses are the ones that you build to solve a need that you have. Because clearly you had a need. You hired an agency to help you grow your recruitment business, and they weren't able to, by the sounds of it, deliver on their end, which then propelled you to start your business. So what kind of things have you changed to make sure that, well, your client never have to experience what you had to experience?
Yeah, it's funny because SEO isn't cheap, is it? It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and that's why they get other people to do it. And for me, it was that not wanting to let what happened to me occur to other people. So we're really visible on work done, do video reports. It can be an industry where you can be blindsided by, acronyms and more of a techie language. So we try and communicate in a way where everyone can understand and accept that we're all delivering what we said we would, and that consistency of that is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've picked ambition. So let's find out what the cards have in store for you. Feel free to pick.
What?
Okay. And then I'll have that. Thank you. What's the thing you're quietly trying to prove to yourself or to anyone else?
I mean, there are many things. I suppose it's really that you're always trying to live up to your own expectations, and that you can do things. You can build a business and be successful, and always trying to do that.
Okay. And what is that expectation? What expectations have you placed on yourself?
Sounds like a business coach. That expectation has changed so much over time. It started off wanted to build a big agency, deliver everything that an agency would deliver. And over time we brought that back to what we really enjoy and specialise in, and that's the organic SEO and everything that's involved in that. So, and I suppose over time, there's various government policies and economic climates that mean that maybe taking on staff isn't the best thing to do these days, which is not nice to say. So you perhaps you try and make more from the same number of people. So it changes so much. But the main focus is that delivery, making sure that we live up to what we promise people.
But let me go in a little bit deeper there. When was that turning point that made you go, do you know what? Yeah, I might have started out as I want to build a big agency, which, by the way, I've spoken to a lot of agency owners, and that theme is true, including myself. There was a point where we had 21 people in our agency. Now we have half of that. We don't have that high count number, but the agency is far better now than it was back then. So when was your turning moment where you went, do you know what? It ain't all about building the biggest agency in the world. It's about delivering what we want to deliver. What was that turning point for you?
There's a constant readjustment in your mind as to what you want to do and be like, and you have a vision of what it would be like in an agency, and maybe that's that vision isn't what's the word, attainable properly these days to be able to deliver as well. I think the turning point was I had a member of staff move on to another agency, and it was a good member of staff, and when I started to look for a replacement and realised actually it's not required. And then you start looking at streamlining the processes and procedures, and then you maybe budget that would go to wages is now going to delivery and to doing more for the customers, and so there's a real balance each day. We're always thinking, what can we do better? How can we do it quicker? How can we do it to provide better value for what we do?
Most entrepreneurs, I don't know if you've ever read a book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber.
No.
He's got a concept in there that goes, entrepreneurship, I'm probably butchering this, but it's about 3 different stages.
Sure.
There's the technician, there's the manager, and then there's the visionary. Most entrepreneurs start as technician, which I would say you and I are. But if you stay just technician, your business isn't going to get to the goals and ambition and desires that you have. You have to be able to navigate that technician, the manager, and then the visionary to keep it going. It's clear that your ambition is all about delivering for the clients, right? What kind of work have you done on yourself to help you go from, do you know what, yes, like you said, your background is technical, systems, IT, software, etc. How have you then gone to, okay, now I'm going to be running an SEO agency to make sure my client get the best delivery possible?
There's so much that goes into that. So I have a computer science degree, but I wouldn't say I was overly technical, and I kind of had enough of programming by the time I'd finished the core my degree, and so I fell into IT recruitment, and that's where a lot of this, the visionary and the processes occurred. We actually went on a night out, which is common for recruitment agencies, where we ended up on Deansgate in Manchester, and there's a guy called John Amici was seen out, and our manager had read his book at that point, and he started talking about how he'd had a conversation with his mum at the table. What are you going to do with yourself? I want to play basketball in the NBA, and it was all about, well, how do we do that? And it's really like, what's your end point, and what are the small steps that you need to get there? And so from that, everything that we did in recruitment was all about that as well. We knew the targets, we knew how many interviews you'd probably need to get those placements, you knew how many new candidates you'd need for each interview, you knew how many phone calls you'd need to make to get those candidates. And so it was all about, this is what we want to achieve, well, how do you do it? And whether it's technically or visionary or leadership or building a culture, it's all like, well, what do you want? Or how do we get to that point? And that the how of anything is kind of borderline obsessed with those side of things. Yeah.
Love that. You and me both. Computing degree, what university?
I was in Wales, so Aberystwyth University.
This
Mistake.
is mistakes. And the question for you is, what's a mistake you see other agency owners making that you've already lived through?
Yeah. I think it comes down to people. Maybe I always used to think that chief execs of businesses I worked for were all psychopaths because they didn't seem to care about people. And then I did it from owning a business myself to like looking at the team and does a person fit into the values of the business? Are they turning up? Are they always off sick? Are they delivering anything? Of course, SEO, you've got to constantly be looking at what's working and what's not, and I want people to come to me and say, look, I've seen this, what do you think, how can we do this? And it just wasn't happening. I kept it going too long, and I think sometimes the biggest mistake I'd made is keeping someone on in the business too long that affected the culture in a negative way, and the business as a whole has paid for it, quite a lot.
So what do you do differently now?
Well, it's funny actually. I took them on knowing that. It was, you're always kind of making these kind of decisions where I knew he would add something for us that we didn't have from a knowledge basis. I think it was more around technical SEO, and we got that, and then the rest of it just wasn't enough to carry on. I think now I would, I know that the person, the culture is more important than what they know. We can always, if they have the ability to learn in this business, you can always teach it or find it from somewhere else. But it's the culture that's most important, because that breeds good behaviours, and then the results work themselves out if you've got the good culture.
So what are some of the things you guys do at MCR to keep those good culture and habits and keep things ticking over, because it is true what you said. Like you literally said it, the culture is more important than what they know. And sometimes as a business owner, when you need somebody to be able to deliver something, that can be hard making that judgment call, but you've got to a stage where you're able to do it. So what are some of those things that you guys do to keep the culture amazing?
Well, nothing's ever perfect, is it? But I think we're constantly reviewing as a matter of daily conversation, how we're doing things, how can it be done better? Have we seen any patterns that we're unsure of in results, or that we need to, investigate more? Is something performing better than we thought, or why is that? And vice versa. So it's that constant kind of conversation. It's about having good conversations within the business, and everyone being aware of that, and being aware of the values of how we work and the way we deliver, and and the integrity that we have to keep up with that. And I'm quite lucky at the moment. We've got a good team that are really good.
Wonderful. Okay. Moving to survival. Which card would you like?
I've always gone for the middle, haven't I? Let's go for...
Okay, so I've gone for the top of the deck this time. What's something you're proud of about how you handled a tough time?
It's all about... I think that the biggest weakness I had as the business grew was having difficult conversations and confrontation. It's not something that comes easy or that I seek in life. I tend to run away from those things. I'm quite chilled out and try not to fall out with anyone. But difficult conversations, especially with staff members and clients, are really important. And it's the biggest skill I think you can learn to move things on in a good way. There has to be a way of moving things forward where everyone is happy with what's going on. Usually if there's something not right, there's a misunderstanding somewhere, or it's just not working, and then you move on, which is best for everyone. And that's the biggest thing for me within the business.
What did you do then to help you get to that position where you're able to have this conversation? Because unlike you, that side of it comes very natural to me. Like I'm a straight shooter as a comp, very candid, very direct, and I always then go, why aren't most people like that? But then sitting in front of you and you going, that's not natural to me. I've had to work on it to get me there, because you are going to have difficult conversations. So to anybody else watching and listening who might be in your position, what kind of things did you do to be able to get you to that position where you can go, right, as a business owner, I might not want to do this, but I've got to have this difficult conversation with clients, with suppliers, with team, with whoever else needs to have the conversation.
I think it's been really clear on what you want from it, and you need to try and do it regularly. I have friends and family that have been in similar situations and perhaps had to make, I have a friend who's had to make, like 10,000 people redundant over multiple countries, and that's, they're all difficult conversations, whether he's doing it directly or not. And so you're looking for advice how to start the conversation in the right way, what things to mention and why. And I suppose my experience with clients as well is if you're really honest with people and you're clear, and people like that. People are very reasonable most of the time. There's the odd delusional one, but yeah, it's all about that honesty, being able to talk about it in a very clear way and just put out the elements of what's going on that you're not happy with, or that you'd like to, and have that, this is what I want to get from the meeting.
Oh, that's interesting. I did say it comes natural to me, but at the earlier part of my career, I never approached it in the right way. And then there was a book that I read, one of my favorite business books of all time. It's called Radical Candor by Kim Scott. You've read it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that book changed the game for me because, like you said, yes, people might not want to hear it, but they do value the honesty. And if you can't give them the honesty, often you find, yeah, they might be upset in the moment, but eventually they come around and go, well, you had to do what you had to do. So what are, say, one or two things that you now do when you have to have this conversation?
I always started by saying I'm going to have a conversation that I don't want to have.
Frame it.
Frame it, yeah, and just say that I hope you. I say, it's coming from a good place from me where I want us to move through it, and these are the requirements and the non-negotiables that need to happen. And I don't know. Like I say, radical candor is something I heard from a podcast guest. In fact, I had a husband and wife on, one after another, from very different walks of life, and they both mentioned it. And I looked into it. The ability to give feedback. My brother-in-law always says, James, feedback's a gift. And I know what's going to come after he says that, But like you say, there's a way of framing things where it can be time for us both to grow and clear up anything that needs to be cleared up. I know I play a lot of sport, and if you're upset with someone or something's not right, you can feel it in the room, and it's not good. And you can't have that in a business long term.
No. Okay. Feedback is a gift. I need to tweet that. That's gold. That's gold.
Usually he's about to deliver some harsh truth.
Right, opinions.
Opinions, right.
Okay. What's something the industry celebrates that you're honestly not impressed by?
It's very easy to get carried away with what's going on, what's the latest thing and all that lot. I'm not impressed with the thing I struggle with most with the industry is hearing from when you're in discovery meetings with potential clients that they had to run a 24-month contract with an agency, and they sell hand tools or something, and they're saying, oh yeah, well you've got 40,000 views from a blog you did about the budget 10 years ago, and you're like, so people try and justify no work or poor work with that fluff. It's really, what's going to sell more, what's going to be more meaningful for the client is most important. I probably think of 7 or 8 more on the way home. I'll send in a video and say, no, listen.
But it is true though. There is a lot of vanity matrix that people try and blasé customers about, in line with what you said, people trying to justify no work or poor work. Like, how have you then gone about setting your agency apart from that?
It depends on what's going on in the conversation, but it's always like, well, this is what I see, this is the reasons why. Clearly your views from, you're better off targeting 10 searches a month that are more likely to, where you convert 2 or 3 than you are from 40,000 where you get nothing. And it's all about that, isn't it? In terms of being clear, being honest, and hopefully showing the logic behind what we do.
Well, which leads us into the final category, sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Okay.
Spread that out properly.
Let's go to the bottom of the pack this time.
Okay.
Let's do that.
What's something you gave up early on that turned out to be completely worth it?
I gave up being so concerned about the the daily changes. And it's like any trader would say, yeah, don't look at the charts every day. You know, it will only depress you. It's all over time is what's important. And it seems like that within search engines, and things fall in and out, and and it's important to keep an eye on those things just in case. But it's really to not be too concerned or be too emotionally affected by the kind of daily changes.
What's the difference you found from when you used to maybe pay more focus and more attention to the day-to-day fluctuation versus now that you don't do it as much?
I think it comes down to more like confidence in knowing exactly how we work, and knowing that it will it does move, and it does move significantly. But if it takes a little bit longer, don't be too stressed by it or anything. It's like anything. As you get more confident with what you're doing over time, and the business grows, and you've seen in different industries and different types of sites, and the worry goes out of it, and it comes to confidence.
So how would you help someone become more confident? Say an agency owner who probably just started out is listening to this, and they're like, okay, I hear you. I'm in that camp.
Yeah.
What did you do to help you get more confidence? What are maybe 2-3 things that you've done over the years to help you become more confident?
It's purely down to that, making sure that everything that you do in every phase of the work is really good. It's top quality. I always use cricket analogies, so making sure you can play all the shots and play them well. But then it's like, when do you apply them? Switch ball, or what kind of conditions are there? It's like anything. There's certain industries are more competitive than others. Keywords are more competitive than others. So what works and when and why. And so through time and through that repetition, through repeatedly good results, you get that confidence naturally. But it's just about that, making sure that you're doing everything, executing all the techniques and everything properly, and then through that the rest of it works itself out and gives you confidence that what you're doing is good work.
So how often are you looking at the charts these days then?
So I obviously the team does the day-to-day work these days. We catch up Monday mornings usually, unless I'm on a podcast or whatever, and we look at how things are going, what work's been done, what do we need to do this week, is there anything that we need to put more effort into, or that's where the culture comes from as well. So progressive mindset and discussions.
Love that. Well, James, you and I are in similar lanes, so we could talk all day about this stuff. Well,
okay.
I'll move on into the next segment of the show, which the AMSOS challenge. The previous guest has chosen a challenge at random.
Okay.
For you, the next guest. They don't know who you, the next guests, are.
Sure.
So the question is, would you like to accept the challenge without knowing what it is?
Why not?
Okay. The challenge set for you is the pep talk. Give a 20-second pep talk to a new agency owner who's just had their worst week.
The pep talk would probably start fairly negative, that it probably won't be your last. But I'd say that the year after, he'd probably laugh at feeling so down now. The person who's done it for 3 years can handle a lot more and can deal with a lot more than what you could do in the first year. And as you go on and you get staff and you get more clients and you tax bills go up and things like that, then because then other things go into it, don't they? And it's I'd say take a breath. There's always tomorrow. be surprised what's around the corner. And in a few years, you'll probably look back and laugh at the how down you're feeling, because there are some really good times as well.
That sounds like a lot of wisdom, James. Sounds like you've been through one of these moments a few times.
Yes. Yeah. With everything.
That's a dice that I'm throwing to you, and this is the finisher of the show.
Okay.
It's a game of chance. 6 cards here, a 6-sided dice. You roll the dice, and whatever number it lands on is the last question I'm going to ask you in the show.
Okay.
Ooh, 6.
It's gone big.
Here we go. Oof, this is deep. How would you want your loved ones to remember you when you die?
That's a good question. I think about this a lot, actually. And well, if you have the children, you probably think about it a bit more. And, you know, it's hard to, I don't know, really think about it. The main thing for me is that they think I'm a good guy, and that they have some nice memories of spending time with me, and whether that's as a parent or a friend or a brother. Sisters might say some different things, but is to have some good memories and nice chats and kind thoughts.
Love that. James, it's been an absolute honor having a chat with you on the podcast, and you are someone that we've got close recently. I was on your podcast, now you're on this podcast, and I just like the way you go about things. You are a laid back guy, you are pretty chilled, and there's not many things that faze you, to be fair, which is a great attitude to have. So we're gonna link all your information in the description below, your business stuff, your personal stuff. I'm sure there's gonna be 1 or 2 people that wanna connect with you, LinkedIn, Instagram, you name it. We're also gonna link your podcast, because what episode have you done now? 100 and something?
So 107 went live last week.
There you go. So we're going to link that in the show notes. Hopefully get a few more eyeballs on there for you. For you. So yeah, it's been a real pleasure. I've enjoyed our conversation. So it's good to have you on the AMSOS podcast.
Thank you.